Hi there! New or old, complex or simple, these buildings are the most incredible in the world. Designed by their designers and architects with a really wild imagination. In this video, we have collected the most beautiful and impressive buildings of the world. When looking at such a structure, the question arises, how did you manage to create such magnificence? Taj Mahal, India. This work of art is famous for its white facades and history, making the Taj Mahal one of the most attractive architectural gems in the world. This amazing building is located in the Indian city of Agra. It was erected by the Emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his wife, Mumtaz Mahal. Construction lasted 21 years, from 1632 to 1653. It was worked on by about 22,000 craftsmen and artisans from different parts of the empire. This famous mausoleum complex and symbol of love is one of the most prominent examples of Mughal architecture with Indian and Persian influence. It is built of shimmering white marble, which changes colors depending on how the sun or moonlight falls on its surface. The Taj Mahal is one of the most famous architectural structures in the world, a stunning symbol of the rich history of India. Burj Khalifa, Dubai. Of course, this building could not be left off of our list of architectural masterpieces. In 2008, this building resembling stalactite was the tallest skyscraper in the world, although it was solemnly opened only 2 years later in 2010. The height of the building is 2,717 feet. It has 163 floors. It cost $1.5 billion to build. From the very beginning, the complex was designed as a city in the city, with its own lawns, boulevards, and parks. Inside it are hotels, apartments, offices, and shopping centers. The surface area of the building is approximately 17 football fields, and on top of the skyscraper is a restaurant with the best view of the city. This building can only be described as a world masterpiece of architecture. Church of the Savior on Spilled Blood, St. Petersburg, Russia. This building attracts tourists from all over the world, not only with the splendor of its domes and interiors, but also with its unusual history, which gave rise to many legends and conjectures. Many of them are connected with the fact that the temple was erected on the very place where on March 1, 1881, as a result of the assassination attempt, Emperor Alexander II was mortally wounded. The main business of the emperor's life was the abolition of the serfdom in 1861, which gave personal freedom and rights to millions of Russians. The temple was built by the decree of Emperor Alexander III, and it took 24 years to build, from 1883 to 1907. Exactly 90 years after its consecration, in 1997, the Church of the Savior on Spilled Blood reopened to visitors after a major overhaul. Against the backdrop of the strict architecture of St. Petersburg, the Cathedral of the Resurrection of Christ impresses with its multicolored towers and rich exterior decoration. The inside of the temple is even more impressive than the outside. Here you can see inlaid marble floors and a rich collection of gems and mosaics on which the best masters of the Russian Empire worked. Sagrada Familia, Barcelona, Spain. Construction of the temple Sagrada Familia began in 1882. This is the first attraction that you must see when you visit Barcelona. The building, which became a symbol of the city, was designed by Antonio Gaudí. The Catalan architect dedicated more than 40 years of his life to this colossal and still unfinished Gothic cathedral, with its huge spires that seem to touch the clouds, and the facades resembling sand sculptures. Unfortunately, Antonio Gaudí, having died in 1926, did not manage to finish his chaotically composed but incredibly beautiful cathedral. After the death of the architect, like-minded people continued his work, but their plans were violated by the Spanish Civil War, and the work continues to this day. The reason for the long-term construction is that the Sagrada Familia temple is built solely on donations from its parishioners. Only in 2010 was the church consecrated and declared ready to hold church services in it. The full completion of the construction work is planned no earlier than 2026. Shwedagon Pagoda, Yangon, Myanmar. This pagoda is the highest spiritual building of Myanmar, or, as it is also called, the country of pagodas. The whole complex of the giant pagoda covers an area of more than 5 hectares, on which, in addition to the main structure, there are many smaller spires and countless sculptural images. The main difference between the pagoda and the temple is that it cannot be entered, and it has no interior. From the Burmese chronicles, it is known that the king of the city of Pagu in 1372 for the first time repaired the Shwedagon. Later on, the cup was repeatedly restored after earthquakes. The dome of the Shwedagon reached its present height by the middle of the 15th century. With each repair, the pagoda, which was lined with a new layer of gilding, grew in height. Its top is lined with gold plates and studded with precious stones, diamonds, rubies, sapphires, and emeralds. Gold and silver bells are suspended from the spire, which sway in the wind and emit a melodious ring. It is only allowed to be barefoot in stupas and pagodas because the Buddha himself once walked on this land. Golden Temple, Harmandir Sahib, India. This magnificent building is located in the Indian city of Amritsar. Harmandir Sahib is one of the most ancient and revered temples in India. The upper tiers of it are covered with gold, so it is known under the name Golden Temple. The road to the entrance to the temple goes through a narrow marble bridge over a pond, the water in which is considered to have healing powers. Pilgrims believe that it consists of an elixir of immortality and holy water. In the temple, on each side there is a door, which is a symbol of its openness to people of any nationality and religion. Harmandir, or Temple of God, was built and destroyed many times before it acquired its present appearance at the end of the 1700s. The magnificence of the gilded temple displays a mixture of Hindu and Muslim architecture, the beauty of which is enhanced by reflection in the surrounding water. Amusement Park Ferrari World, Abu Dhabi. The Ferrari theme park is located under a roof of 200,000 square meters, and it is the largest theme park in the world located indoors. Ferrari World was officially opened in November 2010 and includes more than 20 rides in the spirit of the brand. One of the unique features of this park is a red streamlined roof made in the form of 3 petals, each of which represents the classic lines of the legendary Ferrari GT. This amazing building is called Little Italy, where guests can stroll along the Amalfi Embankment, see Venice, and the Colosseum. In this park, anyone who has always dreamed of being a racer can realize their dream. Well, the pearl of the park, no doubt, is the extreme pneumatic roller coaster Formula Rossa. The fastest roller coaster in the world, an F1 bolide cockpit emulator reaches speeds of more than 125 miles per hour and allows brave souls to test their nerves and feel all of the overload experienced by a Formula 1 driver. White Temple, Thailand. Wat Rong Khun, better known as the White Temple, is one of the most recognizable temples in Thailand and undoubtedly one of the most beautiful buildings in the world. This is one of the most visited attractions of the city of Chiang Rai and the most unusual Buddhist temple. Wat Rong Khun stands out for its white color, glistening in the sun thanks to pieces of glass and plaster. White color means the purity of the Buddha. White glass symbolizes his wisdom. They say it is best to admire the White Temple at dawn or sunset, when it beautifully reflects the rays of the sun. The construction of the temple began in 1997 and continues to this day. It is built by a Thai artist at his own expense from the sale of his paintings. The artist refused sponsors. He wants to make the temple the way he wants. Inside the building, there are already a lot of colorful paintings on the wall, and outside, you can usually see interesting sculptures. One day there will be 9 buildings, including a hall containing Buddhist relics, a meditation hall, monks' living quarters, and an art gallery. Temple Wat Rong Khun is considered one of the most beautiful architectural structures in the world. Lotus Temple, New Delhi, India. The huge building of white marble in the form of a blooming lotus flower is one of the most popular tourist attractions in Delhi. The main Baha'i Temple of India was built relatively recently in 1986. Inspired by the lotus flower, the architect included 27 petals in the building design, lined with marble and united in 3, which gave the temple a 9-rounded shape. The 9 doors of the Lotus Temple lead into the main hall, about 130 feet high. Just as a living lotus flower, the temple grows out of the water thanks to artificial lakes spilled around it. When viewed from above, they form a beautiful symmetrical figure with a snow-white flower in the middle. In the evening, in the spotlight, the petals of the temple glow softly with a greenish-white light, just like a real living lotus. Of course, this is not all of the outstanding buildings of the world that humanity has built. Write in the comments what architectural masterpieces you know and would like to see in our future releases. And of course, don't forget to put like. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more.